Gamebreaker TV.
This episode of OMGLoL is brought to you by Netflix. For a free 30-day trial, head on over to netflix.com/GamebreakerTV. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to OMGLoL, your weekly League of Legends drama show right here on the Gamebreakers.tvs. Hey, I'm Gary Gannon. Joining me, as always, is Mr. Sean Forecourt Jester Delaney. How are you, sir?
Doing good, Mr. Gary. Another week, more drama.
More drama. Hey, if any of you guys didn't catch it last Friday, we did our first, GBL thingy, which is our League of Legends community matches. Sean cast.
Thingy.
It was kick ass, and we should get that up on the site for you to go watch ASAP. Still haven't done that, but the VODs are up on Twitch. You can go watch them. We'll get them posted, but we will be doing it again. We're definitely going to do it again. I don't think we're doing one this Friday, but I don't know. We're going to figure out a better time and day, because I don't know, that pesky League of Legends tournament thing is on, and
yeah,
you know, we don't want to take all our viewers. We kind of pulled too many viewers away, and Riot sent me an email and said, dude, seriously, can you at least move the show? Just you know, we're trying to build some steam here. We're trying to get this game off the ground. We know you guys kind of rule the Twitch, but we need viewers. So could you guys just move the show? So we're gonna move the show. We just don't know till when, but we'll have more community matches. You can count on that. Sean, what is on the docket for today?
Well, this week, OMGLoL, we're going to talk about the League of Legends Championship Series. You know, the tournament we're taking the viewers away from, some ESL prize money issues, and a neat little bug where you lose league points upon victory. So, the biggest and the best, ESL announces their partnership with Riot, and then, coincidentally, there's casting of a doubt upon the payment methods that ESL has done in the past. So, we saw some accusations out there from previous winners in the ESL series, especially for League of Legends, as far back as last week. So I'm not entirely too sure exactly, how all the payments do work, but I do know there's a bit of a grace period every time you win. It's supposed to be no less than 90 days, but 365 later, you're still not getting paid out. That could definitely be a bit of an issue, Mr. Gary.
So ESL, they have now this so far. So this has nothing to do with Riot, as far as I understand, right? Because the doubt is kind of cast more in the ESL partnership in their area. Riot's kind of getting lumped into this now that they've gone into a partnership with them, correct?
Well, it's just kind of coincidental timing, and I say coincidental because it's not. But ESL's been running League of Legends events as well, StarCraft II events. They used to do a whole lot of Quake back in the day as well. And every gaming organization out there that runs tournaments has always been accused of never paying out. It's kind of like a parallel to Own3D, Hey, come over to Own3D, we'll pay you lots of money, and then you never got it up to, 6, 7, 8 months later. So it's not a new thing in gaming, but I just found it very interesting timing that we would bring up these doubts about ESL after they've announced that they're doing a lot of the production for the EU LCS, as well as their partnership with Riot and all that. But I got to give it to ESL, because as soon as that went up, I think it was not even an hour later, a big press release came out of them saying that they're going to clear out the entire backlog by the end of February. And they had a pretty impressive number on that. They said something like $12 million has already been paid out, and they're going to finish up the rest of that by the end of the month.
I wonder if this is a lot. This doesn't at all take them off the hook, right? It doesn't. It's still not anyone who's owed money. It doesn't kind of negate this. But I wonder if this is because the whole esport thing is still fairly new. It's a new whole thing, and a lot of these companies are out there trying to get sponsors and things like that, and they're being promised things also by their sponsors and X number of dollars, and maybe they're slow walking payments into ESL, and then ESL is kind of caught up, and they don't have this surplus of cash that they're just sitting on that they can then pay out to people. So it kind of probably becomes, because it's such a new business, that it becomes this spiraling effect. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that just say, hey, yeah, we'll sponsor this thing, and then kind of maybe fly the coop. So I don't know. What do you think though? Has Riot said anything? I mean, what's the consensus? Do you think Riot will be much more prompt with their winnings and earnings? And I would almost imagine that if they're going to be, in a partnership with this, that they're almost going to, I don't want to say strong arm ESL, but I think that they would be much more on top of this than ESL might have been if they were all on their lonesome self.
Well, as big as a partnership as this is for ESL, because now they're hooked into basically the competitive circuit for the year. I do expect that a lot of these late payment things are probably going to start adhering more towards their actual grace periods. As I said, typically it takes up to sometimes even 90 days after you win a tournament to get the money. And Riot, they're not exactly poor at this point, but at the same time, it's just like any other player contract that they have with ESL. You got to get these things paid out. You got to be on time, and just like the players, you got to be well behaved, because it will look bad if continually throughout the year we keep getting these things. All right, well, I won a tournament, I didn't get my money. I won RP, I didn't get it. The more and more that shows up, it just kind of adds a bit of a bad rep to the company. So I fully expect this stuff to kind of just blow over within the next month or so.
Do you have any idea how much money is actually still owed out? Or they're not probably saying any numbers.
Well, it's tens of thousands of dollars per tournament, plus the finals is usually like another 6 digits on top of that. And if they're owed money, if players are owed money as of 365 days, that's 6, 7, 8 different tournaments. I would say it's probably a good million or so.
Yeah, pretty good chunk of change. All right, what else we got going on today?
Yeah. Well, we'll stick with the League of Legends Championship Series. So last week, of course, we did see the opening weekends. Both NA and EU kind of staggered them. NA was more Thursday, Friday, and then the EU was more of a Saturday, Sunday. But there were some distinct differences in the way that they were both run and the way that they were both received. Let's go off with the big one. NA, according to a lot of the feedback we've seen, felt a lot more professional. It was a lot more like a sports show, a news desk, kind of like what you would see on ESPN. EU felt a
production
bit more
value.
I don't want to say production value, but like EU had like questions from the audience. They had more community-inspired things where they would kind of break the fourth wall, whereas NA was kind of pretty much just concealed to their studio. So there were some complaints about both. Some of them wanted more community interaction. Some of them wanted it to be more bit professional. I mean, you're never going to really satisfy everyone, but because there's these differences, it also got multiplied by the fact that, especially on the EU side, there were sound sync issues and lag across the board.
Ooh, that sounds like maybe something out of their control. What do you prefer, though? What do you prefer with the esports community, like the whole League of Legends tournaments and the series kind of just getting more and more popular and the prize pool getting higher and higher? I don't know. We've definitely seen a huge shift in the past 12 months. I mean, 12 months ago, it was a couple guys in their basements.
Is that a jab there?
Nah, joking around. He's building a studio. That's why I'm jabbing him. So, but now it's like it's gotten to the point that like they're spending ridiculous amounts of money. Everybody's looking all professional. They're wearing jackets. They've got their hair combed. They've got like good lighting. They've got good sound. It's like they're trying. They're definitely, at least on the NA side, it seems like I didn't get to see the EU stream, but on the NA side, there definitely seems like they're going for that. Hey, let's get as close to professional sports as we possibly can. What do you think the community wants? Do they want that level of professionalism, or do a lot of them want to keep it at like this grassroots kind of like gamers amongst gamers kind of feel?
I guess it really depends on how much previous background you have with, quote unquote esports, because, it's something I would even say less than a decade or so. It's been, kind of out there for a majority of the people. Back to the MLG days, the game battle days, back when we had huge prize pools, then we had this big lull. And that's kind of where a lot of the personalities that we see today kind of got developed in that big lull. Like Joe Miller was saying that, they didn't get to the highest tier because of luck. They did years and years and years of broadcasting to hundreds of players. So, they polished themselves up. They got to this. So if you've kind of been following them since then, you're really going to want to see them get more and more professional, because we have big aspirations for TV. I know that something like the 2025 Olympics is considering video games or something silly like that, StarCraft and League of Legends among them. So to get to that higher tier, yes, people want more professional. But if maybe you're a bit more of a casual gamer and you just like hanging out with your friends, maybe you do want to see a bit more grassroots, a bit more casual to get into, like these big conventions, maybe not suit and tie, but jean jackets. Yeah, so
I mean, personally, I think that the whole industry can only benefit from them, you know, raising the bar and everybody and just like looking good and spending some money on production and having it be as professional as possible. We're always going to have the community stuff, right? Like things like Twitch are not going to go away, and people are going to be now with the power of the internet of being able to stream your own stuff. You're always going to have those more sort of personal tournaments amongst friends and that kind of a feel. But I really feel like, you know, we need that level of professionalism at the high tier. Now, I don't know if this is true. We don't have time to kind of like, you know, we're doing the show live, but I've been keeping an eye on chat room here. And this might be, I don't know if this is breaking or not, if this is confirmed or not, but I am seeing somebody in chat saying that Riot, it seems as Riot might not be partnering with Twitch any longer and that they like possibly are going fully with Azubu TV. Do you know anything about that?
Azubu TV is listed as a sponsor. I think we went over that last week in OMGLoL, and you know we were even talking about how CLG is kind of, you know, they have this big partnership with Azubu TV now as well. And the EU, the LCS, both NA and EU have been both broadcast on Twitch and YouTube. And you know we are getting closer to that release with Azubu TV. They're apparently coming out of beta next month. So if there is going to be breaking news about that, it would be, you know, kind of the time that we're going to start seeing more and more media about that.
Now, what we don't know also as well is, I got to say, like, it almost sounds as if now, if I was right, I don't know what they're doing. I'm just speculating right now because we don't know the full story here. But I don't see why they wouldn't want to stream to as many distribution channels as possible all simultaneously. You know, they just need more boxes, more lines, things like that. So it's possible maybe that they're just not saying that they're going exclusively with Twitch and they're just not going to go only there, that they might go with there on YouTube on all simultaneous. I don't know. We'll follow up on that. And we'll see if we can get some more information on that. What else we got going on this week?
Well, you know, just to finish off the LCS stuff, again, you know, sound sync issues, lag, the differences in the feelings about the LCS. There was also, it seemed on the EU side, a little bit of miscommunication amongst either the casters or the production or the link therein, because there was one game, you can find it out there on YouTube now, during Gambit Gaming versus EG, that, you know, there was a big push coming in from EG against Gambit, and the preemptive end game music was cued. So they're doing the push into the base, but then they backed off, and about 30 seconds later, the music kind of just got cut. So
it's like somebody getting cut off at a Grammy Award like speech or something. They're just like, "Hey, yeah, my speech," and you got to get off. So
yeah, so I don't know what's going on. Maybe they're going to tighten it up a bit, but those were just kind of the few of the notes from the LCS. Kind of lower on the drama scale, but hey, things happen, right? It was their first time running them. They can only get better from here.
What's up next?
Yeah, so with that, there is an interesting little visual bug going around right now because the new league system for ranked play came out, where people are grouped into divisions within their tiers, so bronze, silver, diamond, platinum, and challenger. Well, diamond's actually higher than platinum, but there's a big screenshot fest going out there. Like something like 2,000 threads were submitted for this, but you can actually win a game in League of Legends and lose your league points. Now, I think I think I saw that Riot said that that's a visual bug. You can't ever lose points for winning a game. But could you imagine just how terrible you would feel if you get to the highest level, then every game you play, no matter what, you're just losing points, but you're
winning your matches? That sounds completely ridiculous. Have they said anything beyond? So they're basically just saying it is a visual bug. Is that confirmed?
That's what I've heard. I don't think I actually got to actually get an official confirmation on paper, but that's what I've heard. It is a visual bug. You are indeed not losing points, and you know, because those points, those are what's going to get you into your next tier. And after Diamond is the Challenger tier, but there was some feedback about the Challenger tier about being too small because apparently it's going to be the top 50. So once you get to the highest that you can go in Diamond and you can't get into Challenger because it's full, then, you know, what's the point? Why would people keep playing? So maybe there's a few still issues with this league system to iron out.
And what have we seen anybody doing? Because I know that there's been some confusion about exactly what is a good score and win-loss ratios and things like that. So what are some of the sites out there doing?
Well, because they got rid of, you know, ELO and they've replaced them with these LP systems. I know LOL King has like a new score for everyone, but then of course at the very beginning of everything, nobody really knew what the scores, you know, kind of meant relationship-wise. So you would get into a game, people would LOL King you, which is a pretty terrible thing these days. and they say, oh, your score's 300. It's just like, oh, okay, well, your score is only 310. I mean, what's the differences? So they've made a new score. It doesn't directly reflect your ELO. It's supposed to reflect more of your league. And hopefully as time goes on, people will start abandoning the whole idea of ELO and they'll kind of leave it in the past and just go forward with this. But that also brings up another issue. I mean, every game, if you're going to get in there and people are going to start attacking you for your LoL King score, I mean, what's the point sometimes?
This is why people don't like all these meters and information. But I gotta say, if you're looking for a really good team and you're looking people to team up with, it is some pretty good tools to kind of use to find that stuff out. I mean, people who aren't up to snuff, I guess, are going to kind of, I don't know, not like it. Some people are gonna love it. Tools like this are always a debate. We spoke a little bit about the GBL. That was the Gamebreaker League, the community league that we did last week. There's a thread up on the forums right now that you guys can go and talk about it really quick and give us your feedback on the first GBL. There's 3 matches. We'll get those posted up on the site as quick as we can, but they are up on the Twitch VOD. You can go watch them there. So you will get more of those community matches coming really soon. We'll come up with a new date and time since those pesky rioters want us to move it. Sean Delaney, you can follow him on the Twitter at
Four-Core Jester. Everything Four-Core Jester.
He's got it branded. Four-Core Jester everywhere all day. You can follow me on Twitter at Gary Gannon. Follow Gamebreaker TV at Gamebreaker TV. And come over and we'll do OMGLoL every single Wednesday at 3 PST live. We'll see you next week for more OMG.